What is going on, GWD community? We are here with episode 7. I cannot believe we've gotten this far. I usually stop off at episode like 3, but we're here, episode 7 of the Kickoff. We're here with the usual Mac Jones.
Yo.
And we also have a special guest today, and Liner, who we're going to be talking to a little later. Liner, say what's up.
What's up, boys?
All right. So we're going to do the usual. We're going to go over our week 4 recap, and then we're going to go over our week 5 predictions, and then we're going to hear Liner on our segment of Hot Take. So let's go ahead and start with last night's primetime game, which was D-Bert and BK. Jaden, I'll let you start off, and I'll just kind of finish off what you come off of.
You know, I was expecting this. I mean, I was wishing it would be a bigger margin, exposing the fraud himself, Mickey Burt. I called this from a mile away. D-Bert's not a good player. He's running the same 3 plays. BK couldn't stop it. I don't know what he was doing there. Defense was just not there. But D-Bert should be 0-4 in the season. He shouldn't be 3-1. He's not that good. Before in the pregame show, he did call me out, which kind of rare W from D-Bert, calling me out mid or pregame show, but he did lose. So the Mickey Burt train continues, and I see him going under 500 this year.
I have to 1000% disagree. I think D-Bird is a much improved Madden player. He played a hard to stop Tendies who had a CMC. Sure, it was only a first half. He got a big stop with a 2-down conversion. He was literally plays away from winning this game. If he just makes a different call on 2-point conversion, plays some better D, maybe uses his clock, has better clock management. I mean, I think D-Bert is by no means a top player in this league, but I would put him right in the range of Young Griff and BK Bulls for that middle of the pack, can go out and surprise on any week type of player. And I mean, I had D-Bert winning this week, and he didn't do it. But you can see, I mean, with a couple of IQ changes and just more football smarts, he's not top player, but he can be a playoff type of talent, maybe a wild card contender in the NFC. So that's my take there.
I just D-Bert, he's definitely improved from the last time that I've seen him play. He's definitely improved. That's without a doubt. But I think he can upset maybe like low to mid tier players. I don't think he's upsetting Rylan. I don't think he's upsetting J-Daddy. I don't think he's upsetting any top 10 player, any top 15 player for that matter. I just don't think he's that guy.
Wow.
He's not that guy.
Wow.
He definitely isn't.
Well, we're just going to move on to the rest of the games because I don't even know what to say with that. Let's go ahead and start with the other game we have for prime time. This was about where I would assumed. I think I said something of like it would be a multi-possession win by Tidy. But I mean, I thought Tidy showed that he's a solid player in the AFC. Maybe a guy that's a sleeper on a lot of people's radars. I'd have to see him play a little bit more, but I mean, it's weak competition, but he played the 4-0 Cardinals pretty well. He did lose, but he put up 48 last week, and then he puts up 87. I think he's a guy to watch out for.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a guy to watch out for, but giving the Cardinals a run for their money, he definitely is, better than D-Bert. So I think he's definitely a mid-tier player at that. Definitely not top 10, but I got to see more from him. Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to this game here where Franny gets outscored by 50 to J-Daddy. I mean, this is definitely an improvement from losing, giving up like 70-something unanswered to R2. He only put up 3, though, so that means his offense was boxed. I mean, he doesn't have any more offensive weapons. He traded them all away. But holding J-Daddy to 53, I think, is encouraging, right? It should be encouraging for Franny, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's less than what Rylan gave up to J-Daddy in one of the playoff rounds last year. So I mean that's good on his part. And second thing, it's kind of confusing sometimes because in the Madden League especially, J-Daddy is better than Trent in my opinion. I think we all can agree on that. But he gets blown out, but he's better than R2. But he gets blown out by R2 and goes 68 unanswered, but then only gives up 53 to J-Daddy, which, that's kind of confusing. I don't know what that is exactly. Maybe J Daddy wasn't trying, but I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, once again, J Daddy beats another opponent he's supposed to beat. I think his first real test will come next week, but we'll talk about that later, Bars. Week 4, we had Subway taking on the Eagles. Once again, the Eagles gets blown out. The Eagles are kind of shaping out to be one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, kind of one of those guys you just expect to get a win against. I haven't seen anything. I haven't even seen a close game from the Eagles. So Subway gets a win here without Mahomes. Another week. He's 1 week closer to Mahomes now. He got through it. And I think that's, I mean, inspiring for him. A good Chiefs team. But obviously a win he should have had. So can't really applaud him too much.
Yeah, we were expecting this win. 77 without Mahomes. I think with Mahomes he scores 100, but that's just my opinion.
I agree. This game is an interesting one to talk about. We caught a little bit of it on stream last night. We had Weeda and Rylan. I didn't watch the whole game, so I can't tell you if Rylan was just struggling or Weeda was just playing really well. But for this game to be a one-possession game is really encouraging for Weeda bettors and people who support Weeda. I have to see him play an entire game, and we're gonna see it eventually. But I think he's kind of on that same level of Tidy. He's on my radar to an extent. I don't think he's great, but he's a guy that could be that middle of the pack-esque player, maybe top middle of the pack if he's playing this well against players as good as Rylan. And Rylan, I think this is kind of disappointing to be this close to a guy like Weeda, who we thought was a low-tier player.
Yeah, Weeda's definitely slowly going on my radar, but I don't know what he was doing to come back. When we did see the stream for a short amount of time, he was running suggestion plays and threw a Stevie. So I mean, I don't know, to be honest, what how Rylan allowed this comeback. To be honest, um, I have no words for Rylan exactly. I'm pretty sure he's a great player still. I'm guessing he just wasn't trying because I don't think Weedus is good.
I mean, we might have seen a potential Rylan regression. We'll see in the coming weeks how he does, because he's gonna play some tougher opponents. But I don't know. That's not what you like to see. But we talked about this game here. Let's go. Well, Emergent beats the CPU, but he beat Lerfic, which we'll talk about later. And a forced win. This is a really interesting one, and I wish I could have seen it played out, because Jamie played in our last year's league. He cheated, but he was still a good player. He was like a cheese god. He knew how to play the game. He won games, but he wasn't like top, but he was okay. This Lions user just lost by 67 last week or the week before, and now he's beating someone we thought would be probably the guy who wins that division. Now that it's just him, Tendies, and the Lions user. We're gonna see Jamie play on primetime here soon, and hopefully we get to see the Detroit guy play on primetime here soon too. But I can't even say this puts the Lions on my radar, because I don't think this is real. I just feel like Jamie played bad, and not that the Lions played good. That's how I see this.
Yeah, I think this was definitely a fluke game in my opinion, especially after getting blown out that bad last week. So, and the Bears aren't even that bad of a team in Madden. I mean, you got a young quarterback in Justin Fields, and then we have solid running backs with Tariq Cohen and Montgomery. So, I mean, I really don't know how you lose this game. Maybe it's just a different switch than he's used to when he had Lamar and cheated, but I don't know, to be honest.
For sure. We're going to move past the Texans game as a forced win. We do have a new Bills user, so we get to look forward to see him play soon. R2 beats Griff. I think this is kind of close to what we would expect. I might have said Griff was going to win this game last week, and that was just kind of a hot take based off of really nothing. This is a realistic score. I can't be too mad. I expect more from Griff. I want him to be better. I feel like he can be better, but I think this is where he's at right now, skill wise, compared to the top players.
Yeah, I gotta disagree. I'm actually more mad at R2 than I am at Griff. I think R2 is a much better player than what this score shows. And I had him beating Griff by 40, and he almost got there. I think he could have gotten there, but I don't know what this is, honestly. Griff's definitely not the worst player we've ever seen in the league. However, he is not a top 15 player, so only beating him by 30 is kind of a surprise to me and probably most of everybody out there. So I don't know. I still have faith in R2 to go there in the playoffs, but I mean you can't only win by 32 to Griff.
Interesting, interesting. We had another game here. We had the Falcons take on Seb. I'm the Falcons. I can't say Seb is a weak opponent. I mean, he doesn't do anything very well. Offense is stagnant. I can see him being better amongst the mediocre competition, but around competition that's better, I would assume this would be the score for most of those games, close to it. So, I mean, yeah, I think Seb is just kind of low middle of the pack guy. Same with BK Bulls and perfect, but not perfect. Young Griff.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting a win, not in 1,000 years, but I thought the game would be a little closer, especially since he beat Sean by so much last week. But I mean, I don't know what the score exactly shows. So
I have to bring up a point. Is Sean, now that he's out of the league, was he really one of the worst players in the league? Like,
I'd agree. Yeah, I mean, he's losing to low mediocre players like Griff.
He's not just losing; he's getting blown out by
Griff,
by terrible competition. That's what a great team, what a great quarterback.
Sean's Mickey Mouse. He sucks. But,
yeah.
I hate to see that. I wish he could have stayed longer, but that's whatever.
It is whatever. We're gonna kind of speed through the rest of these. We got Brandon and Juice. We heard a lot of talk from Juice. He wasn't really trash talking, but a lot of people seem to think that Juice would be the guy that could take down Brandon. He only scored 9. That's not good. Hopefully in their second appearance, this is his first time playing Brandon, so I gotta cut him some slack. Maybe the second time he plays a little better, but 9 points, it's not gonna win you games. You gotta put up a lot of points offensively, and you gotta hold him as best you can defensively. So Juice might be on fraud watch. Shout out to. Go. I'm done.
This definitely does put a smile on my face. I did see a leaked DM of Juice, asking for a certain top tier quarterback for Dak Prescott. So this does put a smile on my face that in the DM he said, and I quote, "We all want to be Brandon, so just trade me him." And I quote. So this does definitely make me laugh outside. It definitely makes me smile. Getting a shit talker getting exactly what he needed to was getting beat down. I think Brandon could have scored way more. I think he just felt bad for the guy, to be honest.
Very interesting take. We're going to move on to the next game with the Cardinals breaking a league record against the worst player I've ever seen in Madden. That's not true. Mets Rock exists. But the Mets, god awful. This guy puts up 102. I can't even applaud this 102. I can applaud it, but Mets is just, you got to do better, buddy. 6 points. You have to do better. You got to do something. That's just embarrassing.
On the upside, he did score more than he did last week. So, I mean, there's that. So, I mean, but 102, that's twice the amount of what he got beat last week. But he scored twice the amount he did score last week. So
maybe he is improving or he's balancing out. I don't know. It's kind of sad. Mickey Mouse.
I think the score says itself, to be honest.
Yeah, we're going to move on to this game. I actually got to watch a bit of this game. This was an interesting one. I thought Tendies pretty much gave up on the season. And Smalls I believe Smalls lost last week. If not, Smalls, after losing to Trent, was gonna try to improve his team, try to improve his record, and compete for that top of his division. Considering he just has Aiden to deal with, he ended up losing to Tendies, who is a good player, has CMC, now has DK Metcalf, great offense, questionable quarterback play, but he put it together and he won today. I mean, his defense held. I think the issue with the Steelers, they're going to need more offense, and Tendies took advantage of that and outscored him. I mean, 28 points, held him to 24. 24 points is not going to win you a lot of games in this league, and it didn't win him one today, or yesterday. So,
yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't know what Tendies is doing, honestly. We all saw the prime game, at least most of us. I did, at least. I don't know what I was watching. It just felt like two shitters were going against each other head to head and just throwing pick after pick after pick after pick after pick. So I don't know if Kennedy wasn't trying or he's just not trying against bad players and he's going to try his ass off against good players. I don't know what exactly he's going for this season. So
I would like to point out that there is no more Liner, and so it really in that he has a great chance to still make the playoffs with a pretty bad record, honestly, because I mean no one's in that division to compete with them. Jamie's okay. Lions are not good. There's no Vikings user yet, so I mean this is literally Tindy's division to lose right now. So maybe we see Tim start to pick it up because he still has the picks to rebuild, but he could still make the playoffs if he wanted to. But we're going to move on to the next game. We had Aiden take on Austin. We all pretty much expected this. Austin, lower tier player in the league. Aiden, higher tier player in the league. I need to see Aiden on prime time to see how he's really operating with this Ravens team, but he's putting up a lot of points. So that's good. And
Yeah.
Austin put up more points than I've seen him put up all year, so I guess that's something.
Yeah. I said this last week and I'll say it again and I'll keep saying it forever until, Austin proves himself. Austin is a bottom player in this league and he is not good at the game. And I will continue to say this every single week until he proves himself differently.
Okay, well, that's something. These last two games here were AI games. Both users won. Well, actually, this was a rant fair sim. So BK Bulls took the L, unfortunately, and this was a big win from the Raiders. He's clearly cheesing the CPU. Put up 77 against the CPU. What a grimy scumball. But that's besides the point. We're gonna go quickly through our Week 5 predictions. Just you know how to do this. Anywho. Brandon and Disco, I think Brandon shatters the record and puts up maybe 150.
I think this is definitely an easy game for Brandon, but I think Brandon has a heart and he won't shatter the record.
I think he shatters it, but we got primetime game you guys will see tomorrow. J Daddy versus me. I'm just gonna stay out of J. You can give your take or your pick and we'll go on.
I haven't seen J Daddy play. He doesn't have had a primetime game. From when I've seen Dallas play, his mediocre opponents. I mean, respectfully, this is. I think I'm gonna take J Daddy here until you play somebody that's actually good.
Fair enough. We got Lions taking on CPU. I think we both take the Lions here.
Yeah.
We got D-Bird taking on Seb. Another game where D-Bird should feast on these type of opponents, and I think he does today. I think D-Bird gets the win here.
Yeah, he should, but he's not. 7-4.
Okay. We got BK Bulls and Roman, another mid-tier game, and I'm gonna take BK Bulls in a blowout against Roman because I haven't seen anything positive from Roman Fields yet.
Definitely BK Bulls. I wish this was a primetime game just because it'd be interesting at that. So I think I'm taking BK though.
Okay, we got Young Griff and the AI. I'm gonna take Griff against the AI here.
Yeah, Griff's no Franny.
Okay, we got Chicken Titties and Zeno. I'm gonna take Chicken Titties. He's gonna ride this offensive momentum and put up a big blowout here, maybe 70 plus points.
Tendies is playing weirdly, and I feel like he's losing to bad players on purpose. I feel like I'm gonna take Zeno here just for that.
Interesting. All right, we got Austin and Smalls. I think we can both agree Smalls is probably going to take this one to ease.
Yeah, Austin's getting shit on again.
Eagles and Weeda. Eagles aren't good. Weeda looks okay. I'm taking Weeda.
Yeah, Weeda.
Franny and Tidy. I hope Franny doesn't get blown out. I hope he keeps it close. But I'm pretty confident Tidy's going to secure this dub here.
I'm more than confident. Tidy's going to score 60 points.
Jesus. Emergent will beat the CPU. I mean, that's just facts.
Yeah.
This game is going to be another game I'm looking at prime time, but we got Jamie and Trent. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Jamie bounces back, figures out how to play with the Bulls. I mean, his Bears, and he wins. I think he gives Trent his first loss of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to take Trent just for the thing that I think is just going to continue to use this negativity that's been used against him. You're a fraud, you're a cheater, or everything that's been said about him. I think he's going to continue to use that as momentum and just continue to blow his opponents out of the water.
Interesting. We got Juicy and Sky, the 4-0 Cardinals, and the 3-1 Juicy, who was on a hot streak before Brandon came into town. I'm going to take Juicy here. I don't know how either of these guys play. I haven't seen much of them other than one demon play on Franny from the Cardinals. But I like Juicy. He has some talent. I'm going to take him.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Cardinals just for the fact that Juicy, I think his what is the word I'm looking for? His confidence got absolutely demolished last game from Brandon. And from what I hear, the Cardinals guy has the same cheese plays as Brandon. He cheeses exactly like him. So I think I'm gonna take the Cardinals here by at least 3 scores.
Interesting. Another good. We got a lot of good games this week, but we got BK and Rylan. I'm gonna take Rylan, but I hope BK puts up a fight, and I think there's a world where BK can win, but I think Rylan is going to win this one.
Yeah, this is. I mean, if BK wants to win the division, like we think he might do, he needs to win games like this. And Rylan almost losing to Weedle last week, I think that gives BK hope.
For sure. We got the new user and Smith and Subway. I'm gonna take Subway here. I think this is one of his last weeks without Mahomes. He fights through it. He finds a win here.
Yeah, I'm taking Subway. I'm hoping the Bills guy at least puts up a fight and surprises us.
For sure. And then we got another good. This is a great game, actually. A game that we got a lot of prime timeable games. I hope you guys stream it so we can watch them all. But we got R2 and Aiden Murphy. I think this is a tough prediction. But I think Aiden's been playing too many Mickey Mouse opponents. And R2 has also been playing Mickey Mouse opponents, but a little harder Mickey Mouse opponents. So I'm going to go R2. And I think he locks up that Ravens offense and figures it out.
Definitely R2. I'm not going to have any crazy, hope expectations for R2 this week since he's playing a good opponent. So I think R2 takes this one. Very modest win or very close win at that.
For sure. Well, those are our predictions. Now we can get into our special guest on this segment of the hot take with Perfect Liner. Liner, go ahead and say what's up, man. How you doing?
What's up, boys?
All right.
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
Now we're doing all right. Well, we got a few questions for you. We're gonna make this short and sweet, and then we're gonna get you out of here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it started. I just literally anything, right? You can answer however you like. But I have a question. How and in what ways do you think we can improve the Madden League, make it more engaging, whether it's gameplay in prime times or on the kickoff? What would you like to see if you were still in the league?
I think what would be really cool is to at the mid-season point do a power rankings for the entire league. That could be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the main thing I can think off the top of my head.
For sure.
But
that's a great idea too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, remember, if you're watching this video and you have any good ideas, please leave them in the comment section because I'm gonna do them. I have to. So that's my question. I'm gonna let Mac Jones ask you the rest here and just answer truthfully and as honestly as you want.
Second question here. So with the top players in the league, who do you think out of them is the biggest fraud?
I personally think that Rylan at this point is the biggest fraud. I think BK can easily upset him for the division, and potentially Seb if he makes some miracle run. But I personally think that Rylan's the biggest fraud.
Okay,
wow.
That's an interesting take there. All right, third question. Who are some of the dirtiest, grimiest players in the Madden League?
And that's in terms of trades and anyone backing out of trades, anyone you can't trust to talk to, that they're exposing secrets, exposing details about things, just anything like that.
Yeah, I personally, of course there's gonna be Brandon with just everyone knows what he does, but personally, I think that Aiden's really annoying to play. He just kind of knows. He just kind of really adjusts well on defense to different offenses and stuff. I also think that Trent just running up the score on the CPU to get devs up just is kind of grimy.
Wow.
Damn. All right. Okay. So number 4, just the tradition that we're gonna start doing now. What is your hottest take that you can think of?
I think that while Franny's pulling an IDEX right now, I don't think he gets the number 1 overall pick.
I think Franny's just going to be asked for no reason this season.
Yeah, I don't think he gets number 1 overall pick.
Franny's fake tanking is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so.
He's just that ass, and he's using tanking as an excuse.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so all right. So basically, that concludes the questions. However, with everybody watching, do you have anything to say about anything in Discord or anything, honestly.
Yeah, I think that you guys are all underestimating some different players in the league, and I think that coming up at the end of the season, there will be some surprises in the playoffs.
Okay, very cryptic. I love it. But that's where we're going to conclude things. It's going to be a slightly longer episode. I'm going to be y'all, whatever. If you got to this point anyway, it doesn't matter what I say now. But I'm Dallas. I will see you guys on episode 8 of the Kickoff, which will be coming out tomorrow. We got Jaden with us. Say what's up. Say goodbye.
Bye, guys. Just make sure you guys know that I'm the best host on the entire Kickoff.
For sure. I want to thank Liner for joining us today, giving us his hot takes on this segment of Hot Take. And then you can say bye or say what's up, Liner, and we'll get up out of here.
All right, I'll see you, boys. Thanks for having me.
All right, GG. Until next episode. Twizzlers.